Hello, all. Welcome on into our tarot spread for the week ahead. This is a spread for the week of May 5th, 2025. Had to think for a minute. I think it's May 5th. And today I'm going to be reading with the Tarot Vintage deck. It's a deck I've been using when I'm reading personally one-on-one with people. It's based on, it basically is the Smith Rider-Waite deck, art imagery. For those of you who are remotely familiar with tarot, it's probably going to look familiar to you. For those of you who might be more seasoned practitioners, it's definitely going to look familiar to you. It's just that the art has sort of this like sort of tea-stained or parchment sort of look to it. Yeah, so let's get started. Let's see what we're doing. So our first card, as always, is going to be sort of our general theme for the week, what we might be moving through, energy we might be feeling, things around us in our environment that are coming up. And we got two cards. Two cards jumped out immediately. So let's read those. Hoping we can see those good. Looks like we can. So we have the Hermit and the King of Cups reversed. And the Hermit is, I say this about a lot of the cards, I think, but the Hermit is one for me that when it comes up, I am always sort of happy, at peace. It's a card that I welcome. It's like a friend who's going to calm me and center me and ground me and just feels very peaceful to me. So this week, the Hermit tells us it's a good time to, well, much like a hermit, it's a good time to take time for ourselves. It's a good time to turn off the phones, turn off the TV, spend some time in quiet reflection. There's often sort of a spiritual element to the Hermit, whatever that means for you. It could mean, if you subscribe to a particular religion, it could mean deepening your faith or doing rituals like prayer that deepen your faith or deepen your connection to a higher power. It could mean, meditation, journaling. It doesn't have to be religious based, but it does have sort of that connecting with something higher than you feeling to the Hermit, I feel. It also is a good time to sit and think about getting clear on your path. The Hermit has his lantern. He's on a path, and he encourages you, or they encourage you, to sit and think about that too. Get quiet, get still, focus inside and think, what is going to help me connect to something bigger than myself? What path am I on now, particularly in sort of a spiritual or religious realm? And what are my steps? How am I going to deepen that? And like I said, never a bad idea to take some screen-free time, take a screen break, sit with some tea, read a book, take some time for yourself. And along with that, I think that's our message here with King of Cups. He's sort of, I see him, and again, I don't read the cards as gendered, so the king, I see them as as sort of a support to the Hermit. The Hermit's really our real deal here for the theme of the week, but the King of Cups is sort of their supporting. And King of Cups reversed, generally, upright, the King of Cups would be someone who's very in control of their emotions, someone who has a lot of self-awareness and is modeling by example with others. And the King of Cups reversed, I'm going to read this for our energy of the week, as sort of acknowledging that within yourself, like looking at where you've achieved that self-awareness. Maybe with the Hermit and the self-reflection, where have you grown emotionally? Where have you grown with your spiritual awareness, your self-awareness, your connection to something higher? How have you grown on your path? So the King of Cups here is asking us to reflect on our emotional journey, our emotional maturity, our emotional healing that we've accomplished. And the Hermit kind of points us to what's next. I'm still dealing with a sprained wrist, so I've got this bionic looking brace here. So we're seeing that. So let's see for the rest of Monday. Again, I'm in California. It's about 12:30 p.m. here, I think now it's just about noon. Let's see what we've got for the rest of our Monday. And at this point, like I said, the cards, I read it. Oops! Oh, that guy jumped out. Um, I read it as Monday, but it might very well be that that this could carry into other parts of the week. So we have sort of another friend or support of the Hermit here to me. We have Two of Swords. Two of Swords, you see that. And Two of Swords to me also is always sort of an indication to me that I need to take a break. I need to put a boundary between me and the world. I love that the figure has the blindfold and the swords crossed in front of them. So we're tuning into ourselves. We are tuning inward. We are blocking out the noise of life as much as we can in order to have internal reflection. We have the moon here, which is a symbol of intuition and reflecting, pay attention to that deep inner voice. And often Two of Swords comes up when we have a choice. We're at a crossroads and we need to make a decision on which path to go next. So our hermit's on his spiritual path or their spiritual path, and Two of Swords is like, well, what are we doing? What are the choices? Where are we going next? And so Two of Swords invites us with the Hermit, the support of the Hermit, to get quiet, get still, reflect, tune out the world for a bit, turn off the TVs, put the phone on airplane mode, and really think, what choice is in my best interest? What path is in my best interest? And what is my intuition telling me about this? And we're only going to achieve that clarity through stillness and through, feeling our emotions and that tuning into that. All right. For Tuesday, these cards are just popping out. Usually I cut the deck and pull them, but these are popping out today. For Tuesday, we have Queen of Pentacles. Queen of Pentacles is a lovely energy, really. And Queen of Pentacles is telling us that after this moment of deep reflection here, when we're dealing with these choices, it's time to care for ourselves. It's time to care for ourselves. Listen to what the king is saying here internally about like what you need right now. What do your emotions need right now? What's going to keep you feeling calm, at peace? And the Queen invites you to indulge in that. So it might be turning off the cell phone and going for a walk, getting outside. It might be sitting with a cup of tea and a book. It might be, taking some time to play with your kids or play with your pets, or, get together. Not so much getting together with friends. It's not a very, I don't get that this is a very high energy, like, woo, weekend to Vegas sort of energy of self-care. Although that is fun. Go ahead. If that's what speaks to you, go ahead, do that. But this is more of like, again, we're going with sort of a very quiet and reflective mood this week. And the Queen of Pentacles invites us to care for ourselves in that regard. It could be as simple as, using a new body lotion with a scent that you really like, something to that effect. It doesn't have to be big. It doesn't have to be spending money. It doesn't have to be anything like that. But it should be something that feels very nurturing and very caring to you. And something that supports this internal reflection and decision making and soothes you emotionally. All right, so now we have Wednesday. Wednesday is sort of a big work day for me personally, for my day job, quote unquote. So let's see what comes up on Wednesday. Curious about that. Nobody's jumping right out here, so we're going to cut. We're going to pull. Okay. We have King of Swords reversed. A lot of court cards so far with this reading. That's neither here nor there. It's just an observation. There's a lot of court cards. Which could indicate this is a week where we're working with aspects of our character, our personalities. Traditionally, the red is people you're going to meet. I read them more as like these are characteristics within ourselves that maybe we are using to our advantage this week, or learning more about, or, I read them as parts of us. So King of Swords on Wednesday reversed tells us again that maybe we've been thinking a little too much about this internal reflection. Maybe at this point we're spending a little too much time in our own heads. Maybe we're overthinking it, essentially. King energy is an energy of, especially with swords, which King of Swords is very clear. Pardon the language, but King of Swords to me always, he's somebody who cuts through the bullshit. Like kings are very clear, very focused, very capable of making clear decisions. But reversed, it's a little bit of opposite of that energy. So King of Swords reversed on Wednesday says, whatever this is, whatever this decision is, and this internal reflection, maybe let's take a break. Maybe we're overthinking it. Maybe we're putting too much thought into it. So good day back again to lean back to Queen of Pentacles and King of Cups reversed and think, okay, what am I really feeling? What am I really feeling? What's the way to go about this? What's the best way to approach this that's not, causing me to spiral into anxiety or causing me to overthink and ruminate a little too much about this? And what would feel good caring for myself? What would feel good? So hearkening back to that Queen of Pentacles energy. All right, Thursday. Let's see what we got for Thursday. Thursday is a day for me personally where I'm going back to the doctor to get this reviewed. So fingers crossed, maybe next week I won't be wearing the brace. Let's see what happens. Oh, got one that popped up here. Put the rest of those cards back. Okay, Thursday we've got Ace of Cups. Ace of Cups, cups are, I haven't gone through this yet, this reading, but cups are the suit of water, the element of water. They are, there we go. Cups are the suit of water. So they sort of guide our relationships, our emotions, our connections with ourselves and other people. They can be a little bit of that creative, artsy, feeling like we're in flow. I think they kind of work with the wands, suit of wands in that, but they're sort of being in flow, and especially in flow with our emotions and flow with our relationships and our connections. And when I say relationships, I always like to clarify, I don't mean necessarily a romantic relationship. It could be a relationship with a family member, a friend, just people you are in relationship with. Doesn't mean someone that you're romantically involved with, although it can. But the Ace of Cups is something's going to be a new connection of some sort is going to be offered to us here. We're going to have an offering, and perhaps it is just an offering to get to know ourselves better, to deepen that emotional awareness, to deepen that self-awareness. It could be that. But there might be a new opportunity to connect with someone. There might be a new relationship. It's gonna, again, it's getting us out of our heads and moving us into actually connecting, possibly with other people out in the world. Or like I said, it could just be an invitation to get to know yourself deeper, but it's more of a, as you can see on the card, the cup is being offered by something outside of ourselves. It's being offered by a higher, something higher than us, if you will. So it does come from the outside. So in the case of getting to know yourself better or increasing your emotional awareness, it might be a book that you see. It might be, I don't know, a video you see on YouTube where the person's talking about that. But it's something that's going to help you deepen a connection of some sort, something that's going to help you, or a new connection. You might meet somebody cool and waiting in line for coffee or groceries or something. But yeah, look for that on Thursday. New connections, beneficial connections, good connections, exciting new connections on Thursday. Ace of Cups. All right. Got Friday and Saturday popped out. So let's see what we got here. Friday, we've got Four of Swords. Four of Swords is, this was actually my card for May, or is my card of the month for May, my personal card of the month for May. And Four of Swords tells us to take a break, get some rest, take a break. It really finds that, and it's a restorative rest. It's not closing our eyes for 10 minutes to take a nap, although if that's what you have, by all means, take that 10 minutes, close your eyes, take a nap. But this is more of like doing something that feels very restorative, much like Queen of Pentacles. The self-care is something that feels very nurturing, very, very good. You know, we're not doing we're not doing performative self-care. We're doing something that actually feels very nurturing to us, whatever that is. We all get to pick. That's part of the glory here, is we all get to pick. But Four of Swords is much like with this self-care isn't performative. Four of Swords, this rest isn't performative. This should be very deep, very restorative rest. It might be taking a restorative yoga practice. It might be doing a longer meditation than you normally would. It might be taking a walk outside. Walking can be very restorative, even though it's an active motion. It could be going to bed earlier. It could be letting yourself sleep in if you can. Could be taking a nap in the middle of the day, take a break. Turn off the phone. Again, turning off the phone, quieting things. But the overall energy of this week is one of quiet, of internal reflection, of care for ourselves. And I think, I think we all need that right now, to be honest. I really do think we need, we all could use a little care, a little reflection of ourselves, and a little time of taking for ourselves when we can. And so Friday, we are taking a rest, deep rest, and we could bring that into the weekend as well. Like I said, although I read it as the day of the week and the energies of that day, certainly, much like our water and the Ace of Cups, we're all in flow. We're all in flow all the time. This is just where the part of the week where this energy might be most present. But certainly you take your Four of Swords into the weekend. If you've got no plans for Saturday and you just want to lay in bed and rest up, go ahead. Four of Swords tells you, go ahead, do that. For Saturday, we have Five of Swords, and this might be what we're resting up for. Five of Swords indicates a conflict. It indicates something we're struggling with, and not within ourselves. This is something that we are struggling with outside of ourselves. It could be something at work, could be an interpersonal relationship. But specifically, the energy for me of Five of Swords is you've won. You've won, quote unquote, whatever that means to you, but at what cost? And was the battle worth it? So if this conflict comes up again, is it worth it? Is it worth it to win? Or is it worth it to, keep a spirit of teamwork alive at work, for example? Is it better? Do you want to win more than you want to have a pleasant functioning work environment, for example? Or with a spouse, are you fighting, technically you won an argument, but were you fighting just to be right? Were you fighting because you were too proud to say, you know what, let's agree to disagree, let's put this behind us, let's agree to disagree. Or, you know what, you do have a valid point, so it's that sort of energy. You won, but was the victory worth it? You might be second guessing or questioning, like, I don't know, I don't like how we left that. And even though I was right, I don't like how we left that. And so Five of Swords has that sort of energy. And maybe that is a little bit of this, again, inner reflection. And King of Cups, hey, King of Cups, see how you reacted emotionally to this. Could you have done better? Did you react better emotionally to this than you would have 5 years ago? Where again, that sort of reflection on self-awareness and emotional maturity and how we're dealing with things internally. And maybe a situation like this would have really triggered you 5 years ago, 10 years ago, and maybe now it doesn't so much. And it's a good call for some internal reflection and seeing, where am I now? How have I grown? Where am I now? How have I grown? I think actually, there we go. That is our theme for the week. Where am I now? How have I grown? Where am I now? How have I grown? Who am I connecting with? How am I resting? How do I feel? Checking in with ourselves on May 5th, week of May 5th. I hope it's May 5th. I'm going to double check and I will feel dumb if it's not. And our last card, Sunday. Hey, here we are, into the week already, everybody. Good job. We made it. We made it. Let's see. Is Sunday going to pop out for me, or are we going to make a choice with Sunday? Sunday does not seem to be popping out. So we're going to cut the deck. take the card. We have Page of Wands. All right. I like that we sort of begin and end the week on a journey of sorts, or on a forward motion. So we have Page of Wands. Wands are the suit of fire. Oh, my dogs are gonna bark. Wait for it. So wands are the suit of fire. They're the suit of creativity and passion. And I don't necessarily mean like romantic or sexual passion, although it can absolutely be that. But like, it's that drive, it's that enthusiasm that we have for life. And it's our creativity. It's our creative spark. It's that fire, that joy that we feel, for doing and putting things into the world. And it really, like I said, I'm getting enthusiasm with this for our Page of Wands. And for me, the pages, there's often a childlike energy. I think I've said this before. It's like that toddler who's like, why, or more, or, constantly questioning, constantly wanting more information to know why, to understand, and who also is just like, running around, joyfully and experiencing life. It's Page of Wands is very much that spirit of curiosity and discovery, and the wanting to just play, the kid who wants to get their hands dirty, in the mud, or to figure paint, or to really create and do. And page energy is, we have that, and it's more like we're feeling that energy, we're playing around, but we're not taking steps to make anything concrete yet. It really just is a space to imagine and play and consider possibilities, especially with creative projects, or consider what feels like play or fun to you. That's very much Page of Wands energy for Sunday. Maybe try something fun, something new, or something fun on Sunday. If there's I don't know, maybe take some time outside, sit with some watercolors and just see what comes up, or sit, sketch, see what comes up. It's a good time to play on Sunday, playful energy, and see if it does lead to something new. See if it does lead to something that feels like an opportunity or an opening, with our Ace of Cups energy. So there we go. That is our week ahead for this week in May. I think I put too much of a shadow there. Anyway, so yeah, we have a week of restorative rest, internal reflection, ruminating on some choices. Maybe we have taking care of ourselves, tuning into how we're feeling emotionally, taking care of ourselves in ways that feel truly nurturing. With the King of Swords, don't overthink it. Don't overthink it. You're overthinking it. Don't overthink it. It's gonna be okay. Don't overthink it. And just make a decision. Just make a decision. Ace of Cups, offering us something new, a new connection, a new relationship, maybe a new creative project. Something's happening here. New opportunities for growth, maybe new opportunities to deepen our self-awareness. Keep an eye out for that on Thursday. Friday, rest. Might be a good day to take the day off if you're able to do that. Friday's a good day to rest. Don't try too hard on Friday. Don't push yourself too much on Friday. Friday is a day to find that really, truly restorative rest. Saturday, pay attention to conflicts. Maybe this is a conflict that happened earlier in the week. Maybe it's a conflict that happens on Saturday. Pay attention to it and know that you're the victor, but like at what cost? At what cost? I mean, was it really worth it? Was it really worth it to have that disagreement and now your best friend isn't speaking to you? Like, was it really worth it? And Five of Swords, it tells us, examine that, think about that. And again, King of Cups, use that emotional awareness. And also, I think, there is something here about how have we grown? How have we grown in dealing with these sort of conflicts? And are we better? Like, did we actually solve the conflict? Is another possibility. Whatever this was, did we use our emotional skills, our internal reflection to solve this? Were we well rested so we didn't get into such a deep conflict anymore? Those are all things to consider here. And then we have our Page of Wands on Sunday. Let's play. Get outside. It's sunny. It's a nice day. Well, hopefully it's sunny where you are. It might not be sunny where I am. Maybe I spoke too soon. But it's, get outside. Do something fun. Get out the crayons, color. A good guide would be, if you have children, especially small children, what are they playing with? Play with them, see how they move through their day. And notice any sparks that occur. Notice any like little ideas like, oh, wow, that would be fun to do more often. Or, oh, wow, I've always thought about doing that more, pay attention. Pay attention to those sparks and those little things and follow them. But have fun. Have fun. Play on Sunday. It's a good day for that. And notice the sparks. And all right, y'all, that is our reading for the week of May 5th, 2025. As always, it's a pleasure. I appreciate all of you that watch these, even though I don't know you. But thank you so much. And again, if you have any questions, comments, anything at all, please feel free to leave it in the comments here on the video. I've said it before, but I do readings for people. If you would like a personal reading for whatever birthday, new job, new life situation, what have you, please feel free to reach out. I love to read for other people one-on-one. It's obviously a little bit more of a personal thing. We can tailor the reading for your specific questions or goals. And yeah, I will see you next week. Thank you to all of you. Take a deep breath, rest.